Dad, he used to know how to read. Now he just collects titty mags and he grunts. It's like
There's bugs in his head.
Yeah.
I saw him get shot in the head the other day, but he's fine now. I don't know what happened. Do you guys have any weird childhood like friends or anything?
Yeah, I had some creepy creepy kids
weird.
just on my road that their house, like the lights were always off. And like I'd go in there and there'd be like just like the dad's bedroom light would be on, and they had this creepy little basement, and they were like uber religious, and like it was really like their mom had passed a couple of years before, and they were like a couple.
Past what?
Gas.
Fucking yeah, she passed gas and fucking died. And
Oh my god.
what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the kids were like, I don't know, 2 years younger than me or something, but they weren't like allowed to do anything like fun. Like they could play with like their dumb little toys or whatever they had, like their stuffed
Stupid,
animals and
shitty
shit.
religious
Their
toys.
stuffed
Yeah.
Jesus doll.
And
Their
they
fucking
came
rosaries.
over to my house once and played Xbox, and we're like, holy shit! Like they played like the original
Blew their
Xbox
mind.
over there.
What is
And they were like blown away, and like we played Halo and stuff, and they were just like fucking hooked on it. And they like, wouldn't tell their dad, and he'd come over and pick them up, and they started fucking coming over all the time and be like, "Is Sam here? Like, can we come play down? Can we go downstairs and play Xbox?" And like when my mom just felt really bad for him at first and was like, "Yeah, like you guys can go play." Like even if I wasn't there, they'd fucking go down there, and they were just like addicted to fucking Xbox. And then when my stepdad, like when he moved in, once they came over and they're like, "Is Sam here?" And he's like, "No, he's not here." And they're like, "Oh, can we play?" And he's like, "Absolutely not. Like, who are you kids? Like, get out of here." Like, basically, it was just like, "No, you can't fucking come in our house, you creepy little kids."
You got a broom and started brushing them off.
I don't know. They started coming over, but like I swear, like I would just be down there and they would just be like outside, like fucking looking in the window and stuff, trying to because we had an entrance to our basement.
I feel like everybody sort of had a friend like that. Like
They weren't my friends. They were creepy. They were creepy little leeches trying to
I
get
was
my
that
eggs
guy.
on.
I was that guy, by the way.
You
That's
were
like, I was like halfway through your story, I was like, "Fuck," because I was, I was
Disgusting.
4 or 5 years younger than every other person on my block. Like my brother grew up with the neighborhood, and so he was friends with everybody in the neighborhood. And then I was just like his younger brother that was so much younger than everybody else. And there was these two kids at the end of the road, Matt and Pat, and I would go over there and like I would rent games and like N64 controllers from them. Or like, and then I would go over to my another kid's house and like, because he had like a Xbox before anybody else, like back when that was brand new, and he had like all the consoles, and then he was the one that had Diablo 2 when that first came out. And I was like, what the fuck? And I'd go over there and like play, and he was very obviously like, get out of here, like, dude. Because he started getting to like his middling like teen years, and he's like, I want to like whack off before my parents get home. Like, which actually, funnily enough, two things here. One, that kid had a bread box on his countertop. And one of those times where I kind of like barged my way into his house and was playing his games and shit, I was like, hey, let's go see like what kind of snacks this guy has. So I opened up his bread box and I found a Baby Ruth candy bar, and I fucking ate that shit in like 2 seconds. And like a week later, his family, like, they confronted me. They're like, did you eat a Babe Ruth candy bar? And I said, yeah, it was right there in the bread box. And they're like, we got that candy bar like 12, 15 years ago, and it has been on every family vacation with us. It has been to the Grand Canyon. It's been to Niagara Falls. It's been to the Black Forest in Germany, and you ate it. I was like, it tasted like it was bought yesterday. Like, I was like, I'm really sorry.
Christ.
Yeah. But they shouldn't have kept it in the inside of a closed container in their own house. If they didn't want me to
fat little monsters would come in and ruin their family tradition.
Yeah,
that was our
they shouldn't have let me
God.
barge my way in and break into their house and eat their stuff in closed containers. Like, what?
Jesus Christ!
Fucking irresponsible people.
Well, why do they
like
have
fucking
that?
Cartman moves right there, dude.
No. No, fuck. Who the fuck carries a bar like that around the
Probably
world?
I don't
Fucking
know.
someone died with it or something. It's got like
These
crazy.
are
kept
people
it
that have
lifted
a
on.
grand piano in their living room. Like they were just a weird family.
It could have the soul of one of their
Yeah,
family
that's so
members.
Yeah, like did you
locked in
suddenly get like weird memories of Niagara Falls and shit? Like did you
When I
absorb
ate it,
knowledge?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
felt a little bit more well traveled. Maybe.
You hear the ocean, like when you're like out of the
Oh.
corner of your fucking consciousness, you
I
like
can
looking
feel-
around.
All the experiences of that Babe Ruth where I absorbed them like Boo.
You all of a
And
sudden
then-
knew what that kid's dick looked like.
Yep,
'Cause he just
yeah.
jerk off with it in the room. Oh
Yeah.
god.
But also in the same vein, I went back and checked on my
And I fucking killed
I
their
went
dog.
back. I was like, you got any other candy bars in the past 20 years? And I fucking ate another one.